Well, good morning, guys. Today is a good day because we actually get to take the cruiser somewhere. We are going to fly to the Zenith fly-in in Mexico, Missouri. I've got the airplane all cleaned up. It's all packed up. I had a ton of stuff laid out on the countertop, and I weighed everything individually and then loaded it into the airplane. There's a lot of stuff, but it's really not all that heavy. I only had two things that were rather heavy. The tie-down kit was 9 pounds and my tent is 9 pounds. Everything else was like a pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. So it's really not a whole lot of weight. Everything fits great in there. There's a lot of volume in the back in the cargo compartment. So the airplane is loaded up, it's cleaned up, and it's ready to go.
Welcome aboard, everybody. We've just left my home airport. We're on our way to Porter County, Valparaiso. That's my first fuel stop, and it's a little early for a fuel stop, but the main fuel stop that I wanted was Logan County, and that's AAA for the identifier. And the reason I like to go there on the way to Mexico is because they have a whole bunch of old military airplanes there that's fun to go look at. But that's kind of far for the first fuel stop. I could probably make it, but just for comfort, I'm going to stop at Valparaiso. That's Porter County. And the reason I picked Porter County is because that's kind of our traditional fuel stop when we fly to Oshkosh, so I thought it'd be neat just to stop there. If you guys are wondering, I've got the power at 2770, max continuous is 2800, and I've got a true airspeed of 100 knots, exactly, and density altitude of 5,100 feet, so she performs a little bit. Not the fastest airplane in the world, but it's great for sightseeing. So this is fun. It's actually nice to get up and fly where you actually have a destination you're going to instead of just circling around for 20 minutes and going home. So I've been looking forward to this trip for quite a while. But that's it for now. I'll see you on the ground in Logan County.
Guys, we are in Logan County. First, I'm going to get fuel, and I'm going to show you why I stopped here. They have this little air park here where it's got some military vehicles, a Huey, an F4, there's a T-33, some other equipment, and actually I think behind that building is an A7. There it is hiding out back there. Let's go take a look. On my last trip, I had a layover in San Diego, and when I do, I always go to the Midway or the Air and Space Museum. I didn't have a lot of time this time, so I went to the Midway, and they had an A7 there, and one of the docents there used to fly these, so it was really neat talking to him and getting a bunch of stories on their missions and some of the action that he's seen. It's a pretty neat airplane. He flew this airplane, the F4, and he also flew, he was in the Navy, he flew the F-86, and he said the Navy used the F-86 as a drone. So he would fly the F-86 somewhere, and then they would take it up without a pilot and then blow it up. They said that was hard to see. I opened up that little panel there, and it looked like it still had an engine in it. And then when you come around back, if it's not too dark to see, you will see that the engine is still installed in this airplane. Pretty interesting. Usually they take the engines out. All right, guys, we have one final destination, and that is the Zenith factory. Clear. Well, since I'm off work for a month right now, I thought I would arrive early and help set up and see if I could be of any help. So I actually left here Wednesday morning and arrived at the Zenith factory, I think around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was the first one there, so the first thing I did was unload the airplane and set up camp. When I arrived, Zenith was in the middle of one of their monthly rudder workshops, so I just kind of watched some people build some rudders. They did have some lunch put out, so I did help myself to some pizza. I just generally walked around the shop, played with the shop cat, and just had some fun. Roger was out giving some rides. Here he is in the 701, taxiing out, giving more demo rides. So this was my third year going to the Zenith Homecoming, and I'm starting to meet more and more people in the community, and I consider these people my friends. They're an awesome group of people, and it's just fun to go back every year, meet up with my friends, and have a good time. In this clip, TY is playing his guitar and singing along. Leroy in the white beard is singing backup vocals, although it's kind of quiet in the audio. TY's wife, Pam, is sitting in the middle just enjoying the music. What a great time.
If I were to sing, if I were to sing, would you let me sing? Would you let me sing? Oh, if I were to cry, if I were to cry, baby, let me cry. Oh, baby, oh, if I were to laugh, if I were to, would you let me laugh? If I wanna, would you let me, yeah. If I wanna roll, let me roll like a lion. Baby.
Well, one of the really fun contests they had this year was the Clico competition, and they had this little piece of metal with a bunch of holes drilled in it, and you had to put the Clicos in a certain order and then remove them, and then hit the timer when you start and when you stop. The fastest person there was Roger at 26 seconds. You know who the second fastest person was? Right here, I had 29 seconds and 29.21 seconds, I think it was. So next year, I'm gonna beat Roger. Now this is me doing it on my first attempt. So you hit the timer and you have to put all the Clicos in, going down the line, and then you have to take them out the opposite direction. And it's just really harder than you think because you're trying to go so fast that your hands just don't work together. You have trouble putting the Clico into the tool, and then you have trouble putting the Clico in the hole. Everybody was surprised at how difficult it was. It looks easy, but it's really not. I hope they do this again next year because everybody had a blast with this. This is Riley, and she was so happy to sit in the airplane. Her dad kept asking her if she was ready to go, and she would just shake her head and say no. She just enjoyed it so much. Who knows, maybe a future pilot. And because every good YouTube video needs some drone footage, here you go. Well guys, obviously there was a lot more going on there than I actually filmed. I was too busy having fun to get out the cameras and film a lot. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't made it this year, hopefully we will see you there next year.